Hey everybody, it's Louise from Wildflower Wills. So, if you were here earlier and attempted to join for the live, for some reason my internet was being unsuccessful. It was not working well. It was freezing, so we cut the live short. So I thought I would just come on here. I'm going to record a little bit because I think there was parts I was talking, I was freezing, and you guys can hear me. So I'm just going to quickly recap some of what we talked about. If you did catch the live, you may have missed some of it. I'm not sure. So I'm just going to quickly run through everything, kind of super quick, and then you can just watch it again later tonight or later on in the week. So this week's poll was what I would knit with this new yarn. So you guys all know you can vote in all the places. You can vote here on YouTube, Patreon, Facebook, and Instagram. And you can vote in all the places if you feel really, really strongly about something. You can hit all of the places and you can vote for the project you want. So these are two new yarns I brought back home from the yarn shop that I am working at. We have completely redone the whole line of yarns that we're carrying in the shop. It's McPherson Arts and Crafts. There is a large yarn section in the store, and it is fabulous. We've got some really great yarns coming in. We've got some in stock already, and we've got more coming in. Anyways, we'll talk a little bit more about the shop that I'm working at kind of every week here as we're chatting. But this yarn is some of the new yarn that we've gotten in, and we need to sample knit. So I thought you guys could help me pick out what the sample is going to be. Cascade Anthem, 100% acrylic. This yarn is replacing our Patents Canadiana that the store had used to always have in stock, and now this is what we've got for our new acrylic, and it feels nice, you guys. I am a Canadiana was never really one of my favorite yarns, and this feels really nice. So I had two options for you guys to vote on. Would it be a brioche cowl, or would we do stranded mitts? And there we were had like I don't know, around 80 votes in all of the places, and the winning project ended up with 76% of the votes. Earlier on in the day, I thought it was really close. I went and checked some comments, YouTube, Facebook, all the places, and it was like mitts, cowl, cowl, mitts, cowl, mitts, cowl, mitts, cowl, and it was like too close to call. And I'm like, okay, this is going to be really close. So if it does end up in a tie, which only but once or maybe twice it has ended up in I think twice it's ended in a tie. I'm going to go back to the Patreon members, and whatever their votes lean which way, that's going to be the tiebreaker. Anyways, it did not end up being that close. Once I got going through all of the votes, the winning project ended up with 76% of the votes. There was, votes for some people said, one comment said, don't do brioche now because that's going to be the Fiber Friends Challenge in September. Wait till then. Other people were like, oh, Louise, you and mitts have a bad track record. There's a better chance of you getting the cowl done. Some people said, there was one said, this definitely looks like it should be a brioche cowl. But you know what? In the end, stranded mitts was the winning project with 76% of the votes. So either one, we talked a little bit about when I was actually live earlier tonight, about the fact that either one, mitts or a cowl, are really great projects for summertime heat wave knitting. Maybe mitts actually are a little bit better because they're even smaller still than the cowl. Even just holding this yarn, my hand is starting to sweat. So mitts it is, stranded mitts. This is going to be so fun. All day long I was thinking about both projects, if it was going to be brioche, if it was going to be stranded, and what I was going to do. And I've got some really fun ideas for both projects. So stranded mitts, I had a 16-inch needle already pulled out, thinking I guess that I was going to do a cowl, and now I'm going to have to switch it up and find a needle to do mittens. Super excited. So let's talk about mitts. I had cast on mitts 2 weeks ago, and I know there was some talk, right? Because last year I cast on mitts and did not finish one single pair. Do not know why. I don't know why mitts were giving me such a hard time last year. I just could not seem to get any of them finished. So I know you guys were a little leery, and some people were. Liz actually voted. She's like, I'm going to vote mitts. She said, but I know there's like a really slim chance of you actually finishing them. Well, I did get one finished. This was the cast on, I think it was from 2 weeks ago. Do I have it on my whiteboard? Mittens green. It was on the first, July 7th. First week of July. I have one finished. Now, these mitts are ending up being a little bit of a work in progress, a design work in progress, a working gauge swatch kind of thing. This one here ended up being just a smidgen small for me. So once I knew it was going to be too small for me width-wise, it's not bad, and I knit it on double points, and you can kind of see, where's it? A little bit of a ladder here, even though I tried really hard to pull it snug, but I'm thinking that will block out and just kind of disappear. But so since I knew it was going to be too small for me, I did the length a little shorter and the thumb a little shorter, and thinking I'm going to felt this and see if it'll fit my granddaughter. Then I'll have some numbers to kind of know for felted mitt pattern of what this gauge will give me as, compared to a finished size. So we're going to play around with that. Then I cast on almost said sock, mitten number 2, and these ones I am doing extra big for myself so I can felt them to have a pair that will fit me. I've got quite a bit of yarn left here, so I'm sure I can get another large mitten out of here so I can have a pair. This may be just a test practice and nobody will ever wear it because it may just be a single mitt. Anyways, this is the local Ontario yarn that I am absolutely loving. I did dye this. It reminds me of mint chocolate chip ice cream, which is even extra fun to be knitting this time of year in the summer. So mitts, I am loving doing the mitts. I'm just going to keep playing around with mitts. I just want to keep casting on a few different ones. And since I haven't knit mitts in a while, I'm going to go back to some of the techniques that I did knit mitts using, like different ways to increase for the gusset, and doing the thumb first, or like not leaving it till the end. I don't know. I'm just going to play around with some different ways and just pick my favorites of everything that I try. And then that is going to be incorporated into a pattern. And that's going to be the Patreon pattern for October. We're going to do in-person classes in St. Mary's at the yarn shop. And there's going to be some mitten classes coming in Woodstock at the Thoughtful Artisan as well. So that's all of this mitten knitting is just going to kind of roll out into those online and in-person classes for mitts. Anyways, all that to say, I'm loving knitting mitts, and I'm super glad that you guys voted for stranded mitts, even though some of you are a little hesitant as to if I will get them finished. Liz, I'm thinking about you. I'm going to prove you wrong. I can do this. I can get these mitts done. All right, the other project I was working on that I did start to show you during the live, and then this is when I think the internet totally just went out. My shawl, my one skein, my favorite go-to shawl pattern that I always have on the needles. I've got needle tips stuck in everywhere here. Okay, let me get this. Where's my stitch marker? There's my stitch marker. There was a knot in the yarn, so I had to cut it. But that was kind of my progress. Honestly, I don't know if that was this week or if that was the last 2 weeks. I can't remember if I moved my marker or not. I might have moved it. Anyways, it's getting close to being finished. This is what I had left, and I just weighed it when we were live. Last week I had 29 grams. I had no idea how much I had left. I just knew that this ball was getting smaller. I just put it on the scale, you guys, and there's only 16 grams left. 16. I am getting this. That just feels like I'm getting so close to a finish, and I'm so excited. I'm not sure. I think this is going to go in the Christmas box, or it may be donation knitting. But where's my next project here? This is my second go around pulling out all these projects, so I've got everything is not quite as organized the second go around here. But last week's project was another one of the asymmetrical one skein shawls. It's not going to be one skein though. It's probably going to be 2 because it's worsted weight. So let me pull this out. here we are. Remember this? This is what you guys voted for last week. I love this yarn. And this was from a road trip a few years ago. It's been in my stash for a little while. I have two skeins of this. It was supposed to have been a baby sweater for my granddaughter, who now, of course, is too big for that. And so it's going to be knit into just a nice big wrap. I think I'll probably use 2 balls. That's my plan. I'll see how big it gets. Colorway is called Cobblestone, but it looks so much like Christmas. I was saying earlier that it makes me think of a cobblestone walkway from Santa's house to his workshop. I don't know. How else do you get cobblestone with a Christmassy yarn? Like, I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense. That looks really Christmassy, right? Anyways, this is what I did. I got it cast on a few rows, just an itty little bit of a start here. You can see my yarn over increases along here. I really had to go scrounging for needles. This one is like long. This one is short. I couldn't even find 2 short ones. I had to go find a long one. Oh my goodness. A 5.5 millimeter needle, which is a US 9, I do believe. Yes. So these are some Knit Picks needles that I usually just have sitting in a vase in my living room that look really pretty. Well, this is the one I can't find, and I need to like recapture, like as in finish something and get my needles back. When I have to like dig into my decorative needles to actually knit with. Okay, I have got a big tangled mess here. We're just gonna leave that until we're done chatting, and then I will figure that out on its own. Anyways, what else did I have to show you? My shawl was the biggest thing that I worked on, and the mitts, because I was really trying to get the pair of mitts done. I didn't quite get them done, but pretty close. My Christmas in July bag, which you guys may remember, has my crochet in it. I think I showed you somewhere along the line. I pulled out another Karen Cakes ball. It was cookies and cream. It was shades of beiges and grays and creams. And I've worked on it, and I have got it all separated into individual balls. So that one's more beige. What? Which? No, maybe they're this. I don't know. I think those ones are the same. This one's more cream. You can see a little bit. There's like not a whole lot of difference in here. But anyways, I still have some colors in here from the other balls, like some of the oranges. Still a lot of this color for some reason. There's a little bit of pink left in there from the very first Karen Cake ball. This is the third Karen Cake ball that I have taken apart and then just literally put my hand in, pulled out colors, and then have just crocheted rounds. So this was the only crocheted square I got done this week. We had our Zoom call. I was all gung ho for our Zoom call to get some crocheting done, and then I kind of slacked off again. But this one here is done, so I'm ready to pick up the pace here. So again, just a plain granny square, but really, really fun colors. I was with a friend when I was working on this, and I had her she just picked the colors for me. So I think it looks really fun. Shades of orange with a little bit of gray in there. So this is going to be a blanket because I have enough squares now that I'm fairly consistent just doing this 4-round granny square. I think I can put them actually together to make a blanket. Potentially for somebody for Christmas, or maybe I'll just keep it for myself. I don't know. I'm going to have absolutely no Christmas presents at this point because I just keep wanting to keep everything for myself. Anyways, we will see how that goes. But that crochet is on the go. It's working out. And I have 2 other quick things that I'm going to show you. I did do some yarn dyeing. You guys, I put up a post on Instagram and probably Facebook on the weekend, Friday, Saturday. I'm not even sure now which day it was. And there was some dye. The woman that was working there before me, she had mixed up some dye, and I just wanted to use them up because I'm not sure what she had done. There was no notes left, so there's no way I could replicate these colors. So I just wanted to use up the dye And maybe this can be a store sample, it can be a practice knit for a future project down the road. Anyways, I just wanted to play around with some of what she had there, get it used up, and then I'm going to start mixing my own colors and start working on a line of hand dyed colors. So this one here was blue and red. I was trying to get uh, shades of purple was what I was trying to get, but there was not enough. Um, the red was there was not enough red. That's we'll just say that. So anyway, so it's kind of, it did come out tonal. That's what you guys had asked for, was for multicolored. So it is multicolored. The skein started out actually as a bright blue, and this is what it came out as. So it's reds and purples are like probably my like two least favorite colors, but it is certainly interesting, and it was fun to do the dyeing of this because you just sometimes never know exactly what you're going to end up with. Stuff, especially when you don't make the dye stock to start with, it's even more of a surprise. But anyways, this is going to be fun. I'm going to work this up into something at some point. I've got a couple of others colors that I had dyed that were really, really fun that I'm hoping that I can play around mixing the dye to be able to reproduce, because it was a really nice kind of like a sagey green color and then a golden orange that are really nice, that they may end up being a brioche project as well at some point down the line. So you'll see those on another podcast. And I need to say another big shout out to Suzanne. I showed this beautiful bag on the Fiber Friends podcast on Saturday morning with Cheryl. And Susanna was so, so kind to get a hold of Cheryl and say, can you make Louise a bag? And then just gift it to her from me. And you know, when Cheryl shows most her bags, there's like, oh, I like this one, I like this one, I like this one. And then there's a couple I'm like, oh my goodness, I really like that. This was one of those ones that I really, really loved. So now I have another Cheryl bag, which is, of course, my needle crafts. I have my needle crafts bag. I should stop saying I have a Cheryl bag, because that only those of us who have been watching the podcast know what I mean. But my needle crafts, if you're new, go check out my needle crafts. Check out her website for beautiful, beautiful bags. So I have this gorgeous divided sock bag that I'm thinking I'm going to turn into a mitten bag. And you can, I mean, Cheryl makes these to put sock yarn in, and they hold a lot. So you can put your finished sock on one side, your 100-gram ball on the other side, or if you do two at a time socks, you can divide your sock yarn into two 50-gram balls. You can put one on either side of the divider. There's a zipper in here, so you can put your stitch markers, your tape measure, your little scissors, whatever, and have all your notions right in there. And then of course a really fun little drawstring, and it's the perfect size for summer knitting. Take it to the beach, to the soccer games, the pool, whatever you are getting up to this summer. So I think I'm going to put mitts in it, not socks, right at the moment. Mind you, I do have a pair of shorty socks on the go. We'll see how much I can put in this. Can I put mitts on one side and shorty socks on the other side? Quite possibly. Anyways, thank you again, Susanna. It was a lovely, thoughtful gift, and I absolutely love it. Thank you so much. Okay, everybody, I think that is pretty much it. I don't know how long this is, about 20 minutes. That's what I was hoping for. Okay, everybody, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you so much. If you did join the live earlier tonight, I'm sorry, the live portion did not work out, but tech things, as we know, sometimes they just happen. So I don't know. I'm going to go down and check out my internet. See, I don't know if there's anything I can do. We were making a joke that with the extreme heat that we've been having, that everything is literally just melting. And who knows, we could be getting a storm as well. So fingers crossed. Next week, I will be coming to you Monday night from vacation. So let's hope we have good internet connection for next Monday, and I will be back. You guys will be voting for something else again on Monday. We'll chat live Monday night, and maybe I will have a finished pair of mitts. We'll check in what the stranded mitts are going to be. maybe they'll be finished. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, you guys, thank you so much for voting this Monday. I will see you next Monday. And I hope you enjoy this little recorded video. And thanks everybody who attempted to join live, and we got to chat for about 20 minutes or so. So that was always nice connecting with you guys. All right, everybody, I'm heading out. I got knitting to do. Have a great week, and I will see you next Monday. Happy knitting, everybody.